Is the microphone working here? Yes, it is. Okay. I will hold on. And is it working here then? Yes, it is. Okay. Let's Can you hear me only once now? No echo. Okay, that's good. Let's copy this over to the game cam as well here. Obviously, this does not work. Okay, we're back in business. So as I was saying, while you couldn't hear me, I have set up the game and made a save disk and made sure that I can load and save. And I've also did a little peek into the manual, and I had forgotten some things, including the fact that the way that you cast spells in the game is by calling out runes, magic runes. So you need to find the scrolls that contain the runes to be able to cast spells. There are no spell names and no spell levels for that matter. So you need to remember the order and memorize the order of the spells. I remember that after reading it. And I also familiarized myself again with the classes in the game. There are basically 4 character classes. There is a fighter class which has a higher dexterity and also a higher vitality, and then you have a ninja class which is also useful as a thief, and he's quick with his hands, so he can use quick weapons. And then you have the wizard, which is the typical mage for casting combat spells, and you have a priest, which is the typical cleric for casting healing and protective spells. So for all intents and purposes, this is all very much something that we are familiar with. Now, this game was originally released on the Atari ST in late 1987 by FTL Games. And shortly after, just after the new year in 1988, the Amiga port came out, and this is basically the game that I would say started the graphical D&D games, and the precursor of games such as Eye of the Beholder and so on. Now, I did play it many years ago. I don't think I ever came close to really finishing it, but I did play it. In fact, somewhere here, I think I have the original floppy disk. Here is the original floppy of the game. And I don't know if it still works, but I am playing a WHD load version of the game that I found. And let's hope it works well. Now, let's get going with the game. I think I've set up the overlay well enough that we should be able to see the game fairly well. It's the game window itself is actually fairly small, so they aren't really using all of the screen. So I've zoomed in a bit so that it basically fills the screen. Is the game audio okay? Can you hear it? It should be okay. Good. Let's move on here. Now the first thing we need to do is we need to select the characters which we will use to fight in the game. We start off with basically nothing, and there are just these code tankers here. I don't know what they do. And here is a sign that etched into the brick that says Hall of Champions. So this room basically contains a bunch of different characters, and we need to examine them. See, how can we he's here. This is Ayoaito Ruieito Shiburi. He's an apprentice fighter and a novice priest. He has a strength of 43, a dexterity of 55, wisdom of 40. Let's see here. Let's use modern technology and take a picture of these stats here. And because we need to go around and we need to pick a fighter and a ninja and a wizard and a priest. Now there are two options here. We can either resurrect the character. That basically means that he's resurrected in his current level and state, or we can reincarnate him, and that means that he loses his current experience, but you gain a little bit of you do gain a little bit in the way of the character abilities, so you gain more strength and dexterity and so on instead. So you can either start at a slightly higher level but with worse skill points, or you can start from scratch and be able to gain experience faster. I think we will reincarnate, but let's see. This is Chani. She is a novice fighter and an apprentice wizard. Let's examine these stats here. So take a picture of this as well. This is Hawk the Fearless. Let's assume that he's fearless. Take a picture of his stats here. We've been here. It could be. There are probably all sorts of references to various books and things in the game. This is Boras, Wizard of Baldur. Now, there are more champions here. This is a fairly large hall. This is Alexander. He's an apprentice ninja and a novice wizard. This is Nabi the Prophet. He's an apprentice priest, a novice wizard. Are there any here that I missed? No, we already take a look at Boris. There is also some guys over here. This is Seth. Elijah. This is a huge area actually of different characters. I assume there are no more here. Yes, there are. So this is Sira, Child of Nature. Kanto, Thurfoot. Linflas. I think we already checked these out. There's a hole here, however. This is Hissa. Hissa is Alyssa. Kothmog. We already completed this, but we haven't done this yet. This is Sonia Sea Devil. Layla Shadowseek. Wolf the biker. Mofus the healer. Stam Bladecaster. So many of these. Unbelievable amount. Did we do this one as already? Don't think we did. We did this one. Leif the Valiant. Tiki Tamal. Ute, Son of Heaven. Daru. Kind of looks like me. Similar hair growth. I think we've done all of these. Did this. We've done this. Okay, I think we're pretty much done here. So, how many of there are there? Plenty. Yeah, it's always a pretty big decision. So I count 23 characters here that we've seen. We might potentially have missed some of them. And let's rotate the screen here. Go over these. Of the ninjas, we have an Alex. Kanto. Wolf, Jayla, Tiki, and Wu. That's basically the list of ninjas. Comparing the different stats. Let's see. Now taking them in a row here. Boris has 35 strength, 45 dexterity, 55 wisdom, and see my notepad document here. It's here somewhere. Yeah, you can use this. He has 35, 45, 55, 40, 45, and 40. That's basically that's what he has. These values are strength, dexterity, wisdom, vitality, anti-magic, and anti-fire. These are the attributes. So strength is pretty obvious. Dexterity has to do with how heavy the weapon can be. Vitality has to do with hit points, and wisdom has to do with magic. The anti-magic and anti-fire attributes are how much resistance he has to magic and fire. So this is Boris. I'll write his name here on and our next ninja in line is Alex, and he has, see, I can do here is put this in a document here, and I can throw it up on screen. It's slightly more difficult, easier to actually see what I'm talking about here. Well, if we choose to reincarnate, we can name them again, but if we choose to resurrect, we can't. So if we resurrect them, they have to keep their current names, and sort of makes sense. But so these are the ninjas here, and we already did Boris. Let's do Alex here. This is, as you pointed out, a fairly important thing, and we don't want to make mistakes here. I'm gonna scroll all the way back here. so many of these characters. Now Alex is 44. $44, $55. What on earth is happening here? It's just weird. This is very weird. Fine. Okay. 44, 55, 45. $40, $35, and $40. So he's stronger, he has more dexterity, he has the same vitality, a pretty lower wisdom, so he's probably not much of a magical caster, and he has lower resistance to magic, but the same resistance to fire. Then we have Gando. He's next in line. Not Gandhi. It's a different character from a different era. He's a 39, 45, 47, 33, so very low vitality. 48 and 43. Then we have Layla. She's a 40, 53, 45, 47, 45, and 35. So the levels as well. Boris is an apprentice. So is Alex. So is Kanto. Now Boris is a novice. Alex is an apprentice. Kanto is an apprentice. Layla is a journeyman. And then it's the next character in line is Wolf. He's an apprentice as well. He is which Tiki is next. She's a novice. Yep. 30, 45, 50, 35, 59, 40. And it's Wu. Novice. 38, 45, 53, 45, 47, and 40. It's 52, not 3. Is an apprentice. To reduce this down to 10 here. This being so annoying. See. Leaves Wu, he's a 38. No, leaves, it's not correct. Swoof, what's next? He's a 33, 57, 45, 40, 35, and 40. Now I'm only choosing the classes here that have their first skill as a ninja. There are some characters here that had a secondary ninja skill, and I'm only taking the ones that had them first. So if you go by brute strength alone, then it's Alex that has the highest. If we go for dexterity, then it's Wolf that has the highest. If we go for wisdom, which would then help us make a character that could also potentially be a magical caster, then it's Boris. Now if we are interested mainly in vitality, then it's Layla, but she is already a journeyman, so I assume her skills are slightly inflated from what she would be if we were to resurrect her. Now if you go with anti-magic, that would be Tiki. And if we were to go with anti-fire, that would be Ganto. So if we were to take an average, a weighted average here, let's calculate a little how that would look. This is an average of 43. This is an average of 43. This is an average of 47. This is an average of 41. This is an average of 44, but she's a journeyman, which counts against her a little. This is an average of 43. This is an average of 43. So of these, they are pretty much all fairly the same, some with slightly stronger skills in other areas. Now, counting against Ganto, which has the highest average of all of them, he has a very low vitality, which is always going to be a problem. Now Layla is looking pretty good right now, but I want to see how she looks if we were to resurrect her. And that's Sonia. Now to find all of them again. This is Layla. Now if we reincarnate her, what does that do for us? Where is she at that moment in time? $45, $53, $46, $51, $45, $35. That's actually pretty good. Now we gain a little bit of a bonus by choosing to resurrect, and she has the highest vitality of the group, and this is a fairly strong character. I'm fairly happy with this choice. We will keep her. Now let's pick a fighter from the group. Now, that's not necessarily the same skill set, and almost certainly it's not, but we would still like to have both a high vitality and a high strength in the fighter. Perhaps not as much of a desire for high dexterity. Let's see what our options are here. I'll copy this table here. Hello there, Akmafin. Hi, Gleeser. We are on the first part of this Dungeon Master journey. We are trying to pick out different characters, and I took a picture of all of them while going through them earlier, so I'm going through them one by one, and I'm typing them into this document to select which characters to resurrect. Now we picked a ninja from the list, and now it's time to pick a fighter from the list. Let's see what fighters are available here. The first one is the Aito character. Now he's a apprentice, not that it matters very much, and he has a strength, dexterity, wisdom, vitality, anti-magic, anti-fire. Ouch. See where he is here. He has a strength of 43, dexterity of 55, his wisdom is 40, his vitality is 35, his anti-magic is 45, and his anti-fire is 50. Yeah, this isn't that complicated of an exercise. I suppose we could use Excel for this, but it seems like such overkill. Then we have Shani. She's a novice, and her strengths are 37. Thirty-seven, 47, 57, 37, 47, and 37. So I would say she's more of a wizard than she is a fighter. Then we have Hawk, the Fearless. He's a novice. His skills are 45, 35, 38, 55, 35, and 35. It says the wrong title. I set it twice, so... Are you talking about the information? That's just because I switched to the WordPad. Switch to the WordPad so you could see what I'm doing here. Otherwise it makes very little sense. And I would just be babbling along here. Is it the stream title is correct, all right? It should be. Then we have Zed. He's a novice. And his skills are 40, 40, 40, 50, 40, 40. Okay, so he's basically a jack of all trades here. And there's Elijah. Novice. 42, 40, 42, 36, 53, and 40. And there's Hulk. He's a novice. He's a 55, 43, 30, 46, 38, and 48. And then there's Linflas. I think he's the last pure fighter in the group. Call him Lymph. Guess we can't fit the rest. He's also he's an apprentice, and his skill levels are 45, 45, 47, 35, 50, and 35. Yeah, this would be particularly good if you were making Python code. I think they would absolutely love me. And in addition to all of this, we also have his 58, 48, 35, 35, 43, 55. Oopsies, the last one. No, there are more fighters. There are so many fighters in this group. So Sonia, she's a 54, 45, 39, 40, 40, 40. And Stam, 52, 43, 35, 50, 35, 55. And Leif, 46, 40, 39, 50, 45, 45. Okay, that's all of them. So let's take an average here. Average here is 45. This is the only part where Excel would actually help. I think it would take as long to type the formula as it does to actually calculate this. These are all quite similar. This character ends up being very low. .46 here. .45. .44. Okay, so out of these, the highest averages are, the highest one is actually here, and the second highest are these two here. Now, the problem with both of these is that they have a very low vitality. They both have a 35 vitality, which is actually going to be a pretty major problem if we look at the vitality statistics. Then it's Hawk that has the strongest vitality, and he's also fairly strong. But that also leaves Stam, which is has a 50 vitality, which is slightly lower, but a higher strength, and one of the highest averages. I think Stam is actually the best choice here. His only real weakness is wisdom, and his resistance to magic. Now, we don't really need our fighters to be all that smart. His dexterity is at least slightly above average, so that would probably do for a fighter. I think Stam is the one we'll pick from this list. Now, find him here again. To find his picture on the wall. He's a fine looking fella. Let's go searching for him. That's not Stam. Let's explore in here. That's not him either. This might be him. That's Stam. Let's bring him back. He's reincarnated. Let's see his statistics in that way. He's a 52, a 45, a 37, a 50, a 38 and a 58. We gained a little bit in the anti-magic and a little bit of extra dexterity. We kept the strength and the vitality, which was already pretty high, but gained a little in both anti-magic and fire as well, so we'll take that. Now we need a wizard. Let's start picking one. There is Gothmog. He's a journeyman, and his strength is 40, his dexterity is 43, his wisdom is 48, vitality is 34, his anti-magic is 50, and his anti-fire is 59. He's the only pure wizard in the group, and of course there are many other characters which are also part wizards. Let's go through that list and mark them. There's Johnny. Was in this list. She's also a wizard. We'll mark them here in blue. Perhaps something more obvious. Green. She's an apprentice wizard. She has a wisdom of 57 and a fairly high average, although she has low vitality. Now, there's also Boris, who's a ninja. He has a 55 wisdom and a 40 vitality, which is average. With a fairly low resistance to magic and fire. There's Alex as well. He has a fairly low wisdom. He's pretty much out of the picture. There's Nasi, which we haven't covered yet. Seth, which we already noted here, he's a very average character in every characteristics. There's Ganto, which we already covered here somewhere. Yeah, here. Fairly low wisdom. There's a Linflas, which we covered here. Also a fairly low wisdom. There's also Hissa. And Tiki. Very low vitality, decent wisdom. That about covers the list of potential wizards. Now, if we were to take the strongest wisdom here and a decent vitality, then it's probably the highest wisdom is actually Chani, but she has a fairly low vitality instead, whereas Boris has a 55 in wisdom and a 40 in vitality and decently average scores in anti-magic. I think Boris will be our choice here, so we will find him. Find his picture. Now Boris is not just a wizard. He was here very early. I think he was the first one. Let's go find Boris. He was obviously somewhere pretty early on in the halls. Before this, here he is. Let's reincarnate Boris. And we can't call him Boris. So what can we call him? We can call him Dennis. looks like a Dennis. He can be a Dennis. He's been reincarnated. Let's see what his statistics are. He's a 45, 35, 45, 56, 43, 50 and 41. I think we're happy with that. His strength numbers aren't that great, but his wisdom numbers improved by 1, and his vitality is over average. And he has a 50 in anti-magic and a 41 in anti-fire. We'll deal with that, and that just leaves the... That would leave the priest. Let's jot these down here. There are not many that were actually priests, but a few that had secondary skills as a priest as well. Now, if we take them just one by one, Aito was one of them. Let's use a purple color for them. Hawk was one of them. Nabi was one of them. And he's actually the first one that is a pure priest. He is currently an apprentice, and his statistics are 41, 36, 45, 45, 55 and 55. Now Seth was also one of them. We've jotted him down many times. He's an average character in many values. It does seem that you need 40 in the character group to be any good. Then there's Elijah. She was in the fighter group. She's also eligible. And then there's Sira. She's a novice. Her statistics are 38, 45, 43, 45, 42 and 40. Wolf is also on the list here. He was a ninja. And Nofus is here. Mofus, sorry, is here. He's a pure priest. A journeyman actually. And his levels are 42. 35, 40, 48, 40 and 45. Leif is in the consideration here as well. So is Tiki and Wu. Let's write down Wu here. He has statistics of an apprentice priest. He has statistics of 38, 35, 53, 45, 47 and 40. He's basically the last one here. So let's quickly calculate these averages. This is a 46. A 42. The 43. Of these, the Nabi does look pretty strong. Anti-magic and anti-fire is pretty high, vitality is pretty high, and his wisdom is certainly above average. So also has surprisingly good strength. Now, Leif is pretty much out of the picture here because his wisdom is not really high enough. And same goes for Aido, Hawk, Seth, and Elijah. They are all suffering pretty badly in that category, although Seth sort of would work, but he has a lower average overall and his resistance isn't really all that high. Now Tiki is interesting, but her vitality is suffering, and Wu would also potentially be someone that we would take a look at, except I think Nabi is probably a better average overall. She has the same vitality but slightly lower wisdom, but far better protection, which is important in the priest. We want him to be alive during battle. That is fairly important. Let's find this Nabi character. He certainly looks the part. Let's go search him out. We are here back at the beginning. He was further in than this. Here he is. This is Nabi. We'll reincarnate him and just call him the same name. Now let's see what his statistics looks like. He's a 42, 38, 47. We gained additional wisdom, additional vitality, and his anti-magic values also improved. So I'm fairly happy with my choices right now. Let's this is the fighter, and this is potentially the ninja here. So let's swap these two and leave the party like this. Now, whichever one is selected is basically the primary fighter. So let's go back to this screen, and they are now all in order here. We have Layla, who is the who is actually the ninja here. So these. It appears that the order here is always the same, but the order in front is probably based on this. So Stam is here. He's the main fighter in the group, and then you have Layla, who is potentially a ninja, although she has no experience. Then you have Dennis, the wizard, and you have Nabi, the priest, and they're not really all that well equipped at the moment. They have very little in the way of anything, so we will have to try to find something of value that can help them along. Now let's get out of this wall here. I think this is a good point to save the game. Now we selected every character. Now the thing that this game sort of introduced, at least on this level, was the food. You only get a limited set of food, so you can't really hang around very much because you will run out of it. Now this is obviously a pressure plate. And this is the way forward. Let's see if we have something that we can put on the plate. Not really. Let's step on it. Now there is something in there. Let's go fetch it. It's an apple. That's potentially something that we could actually eat later. The door doesn't close again. It's permanently open, so it's good to know. We find a loaf of bread here as well. I think it is great. This is a torch. Let's bring it with us. Potentially useful. This is a scroll of some sort. Invoke Fool for a magic torch. Okay. Now the spells in this game are all based on runes, so now I need to look up the symbol for that. There's a quick cheat sheet at the end of the manual here. Okay, so we know how to cast the light, and we don't really need it at the moment, but we know how to do it. I assume it's the priest that will be best for casting the light, and it will basically be like this. But we'll see. What do we have here? We have some water. Altar of Rebirth, it says. This is a scroll here. New lives for old bones. I assume this is the resurrection spell. So we could potentially bring it along with us so that we can resurrect one of the characters if they were to die. Some corn. And here is a door. A wise thing to do would be to save here before opening this door. And this door we can open and close. So I think this was the first game to introduce the concept of being able to close the door on your enemies. A trick that many other games copied with good success. We are finding at least some food here. Very little else. Check for hidden passages and doors here. At least that's what I assume that I'm actually doing. This is the door down, and it seems we are done with the first floor here of this dungeon. Nothing else is here. So we go down. And it's dark. It's pitch dark here. Let's see if we can figure out how to cast this spell. It did say here that we should call full, and I know where that is in the ruins, but there's the question of which symbol to use with it. That's this one does not work. Okay, this worked. And the first ruin is the is how much power you are using, so maximum power, and the full should then give us the maximum power of the light. Let's try the medium here, and this potentially we probably need to rest now. Let's rest to recuperate some mana, because we need to figure out how much power we need to throw into the torch so that we can actually see what we're doing. That's probably wise. Let's try 4. No, not capable of that. Need to rest again. Now each time we rest, we obviously waste food. Which is potentially a very bad idea. Okay, so this is potentially then the... Okay, that will have to do. We can basically cast the level 2 of this spell, and we get a faint light. It's enough for now. It's explore this area here a little bit. We found it's a club. It's potentially useful as a weapon. Heismaker. Thanks for the raid, dude, and welcome to the stream. Now we are just starting our playthrough of Dungeon Master on the Amiga, and so far we are we've been struggling through creating the and picking characters and learning our first spell here, and we just went down the first flight of stairs. Yes, this is finally on Apple Streams, and the schedule right now is there is a Mac stream on Monday, and there is an Amiga stream on Wednesday, and then there is a Evil MS-DOS stream on Friday, and potentially a console, either Sega or Super Nintendo stream on Saturdays. At least that's the plan for now. And yeah, we did spend like an hour on the character creation, and the game gives you a few characters to choose from, so you do have to choose wisely. But I was just mentioning it before. I have the original copy of the game here. This is the original floppy that I bought of the game, so I still have that in my possession. But I am playing the WHD load version of now. Thanks for the follow, Takodon. And thanks for the follow, Cypher, as well. I missed it when you rated and joined here. I knew I missed something. I was worried that the alerts sound weren't working, but the I do. What, you don't like the 80s cock rock bands? Now we seem to have a mummy of some sort here. He's probably not happy to see us. Now this trick with the door was a thing that I remember using in this game. He looks pretty menacing, this dude. I was not going to throw it at him, but I did anyway. Let's put it in her hand instead. I think he died. He seems to have died. Let's see what's actually in here. Some food, which is very much appreciated. That's one of the things that gets rarer and rarer as you progress in this game. I remember dying out of lack of food. Now this scroll says small details can hide great rewards, and there is a button here on the wall that you can pretty clearly see. Now we have a knife here. You could potentially use that with the one of the back members of the party. Yeah, the element in this game is that you can rest to recuperate, but you need to have food to be able to do that, and if you run out of food, then of course you die. Now, this is a pretty decent weapon. You don't really get any statistics on the weapon, but I assume it's a far better weapon than a club. So now we at least have some decent weapons. Let's this is the next door then. So probably, since we're not dead yet, actually save the game. Yeah, living off the land is doesn't make very much sense when you have no land. So that is the problem of being stuck in somewhere where no one has been for a long time. The food would probably be a little bit stale. Now there's a keyhole here and one of these coat hangers, which are fairly common. I assume there are some nasties here somewhere. We are barely off a magical level where we can actually cast a decent light, so we are almost doing this in the shadows. At least it isn't clear to see. Now here is a fountain which solves the water issue. I have to wonder which character it is that drinks, probably the frontmost one. Yeah. Look pretty restored here. Good night, Chiz. Thanks for coming. Have a good sleep. Now I assume, Cypher, there are worse ways to die in this game than what you mentioned about the diarrhea. At least I died in many creative ways in the 32-part Might and Magic stream. Yeah, I had all sorts of pretty nasty things happen to me. Now, where did we place the key for this door? Did we already use it? Or haven't we found it yet? At least there's a fountain. I don't know what these what's the purpose of these sort of coat hangers is in the game yet. Here's another key, so keep it here. Tiny button there in the wall to open the door. Very little in the way of monsters still. It's all pretty quiet yet. Now this switch controls this hole here. Another key and boots. Let's see who doesn't have any boots. Nabi doesn't have any boots. are these? These are sandals. I assume they're not all that great. The boots are probably better. Let's see, does it change the dexterity if we do this, or can you see it somehow? Probably not. No, probably not. The leather boots are better than sandals when walking in a dungeon. That is a very good question. Maybe he's a non-binary. Who are we to judge? He's been stuck in a dungeon for a long time. He can sort of do what he wants. We're back here. I'm fairly certain there is something bad behind this door. Okay. This door can be opened and closed here. This is one of the doors where you need to leave something on the pad. Yeah, using emotes correctly is a skill. This is not the correct key. This isn't either for this particular door here. This is a topaz key, and this is a gold key, neither of which seem to fit this particular door. So obviously we are not ready to go through here. Now our light is fading out. I think we have a torch here somewhere we could potentially use. We'll make use of it, because we don't really need to rest night now. Yeah, the different key types were copied by many other games. This game sort of sets the tone for many of the D&D games that were to follow, including Eye of the Beholder, where you had tons of different keys. There are no secret doors to be found here, at least not right away. Here's a rock for placing on the pressure board, but we've gotten through. If you've got 99 keys, you've got 99 problems, because they all look the same. Now here is another keyhole, and I don't think you can tell by the hole which key fits. Neither of these keys do, so this one isn't it either. What was that on that wall? Thought I saw a tiny glimpse of something, but I was mistaken, I think. Now that leaves one door, which was here at the end of the corridor on the other side, next to the fountain. Does the buff command not work? I will take a look at that before next stream. this key fits this door. There was a pretty good story about an old lady that went shopping at a fairly popular grocery store, and while in there she could feel her fart building up, and she almost ran outside and opened the door to her husband's car fairly quickly and got in and let loose a pretty big fart, and then looked to face the driver and realized she was in the wrong car. That's probably not good, but don't know how I would react to that. If someone did that, probably I would laugh. Now we have an emerald key, which you'll get there, Saifo. You'll have to earn them. Let's do this manually. Yeah, I know you guys. I put cooldown on most things. I've met you before. I know how your mind works. Now, where can we place these arrows? In this pouch here, potentially. Don't have a bow. Now, it's very odd that you have these, which are obviously armor-like items, but you have no way of checking what it is exactly that they do for you. I can't see here. For example, we have anti-magic 45, anti-fire 45. If I put this on, does it change anything? Don't think it actually does. Doesn't appear to change any of the attributes at all. But never mind, we'll keep it on. Yeah, you can use it on the eye icon, and all that does is tell you how heavy it is. It's a silk shirt, it's 200 grams, and this is Elven 2 Play, and it's 300 grams, so that doesn't really help me very much. It's heavier, but other than that, it tells me absolutely nothing. We won't mention that this game came out originally on the Atari ST, but we will mention that it pretty quickly got an Amiga port, which I think is superior. But I would, of course. Now, the question is, which door is it that this key fits? Already went here and completed this. We haven't completed this. Neither of these doors here. Do we have this key? Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We have this key. Yeah, I would do with a keychain. Lots of keys. Now we have an iron key. And we have some trousers. Which are probably similar to some other trousers. These look fairly flimsy. I assume they are worse than the leather pants. And, they all appear to be wearing them except for Nabi, the priest. He's wearing his blue pants. And doesn't apparently alter anything that I can see. There is no, I can't see any sort of armor class or anything like that anywhere. I'm sure we'll figure this out as we move on in the game. I have played this game before, but I remember very little of it. Now here's another of these falchions. It would be good if I knew the difference between these weapons. The axe is obviously heavier, but I assume that the sword is a single-handed weapon, whereas the axe is probably not. Now we found some more leather boots. I think we already have. Well, no. These are suede boots. I assume that the leather ones are better. So no, they all have leather boots. And here's a torch. That's useful. There appears to be nothing else in here. No, I think plate hasn't been in fashion now for a good amount of time. Now, is this the only door that we haven't opened now? Is that the current state? We finished this already, and we finished the door on the other side, so the iron key that we have fits this door. And right behind this door is this monster, so I assume when we open it, it's gonna come after us. Now, the difference between this and many games that came before it is that this is real-time combat and not turn-based combat. What the hell is this? This is a screamer slice. So this is food. Looks like an albino watermelon. Now we need another key for this, which we don't currently have. So we need to figure out where to find that key. We have to assume that there was a secret level here somewhere that we missed, which holds the key that we need. Okay, it appears that we explored all of this here. think we explored both of these rooms here. Doesn't appear to be anything hidden in either of them. It's a question what these pressure pads do here. Listen to the 8-ball up and in. This closes the door. It's weird that the putting the stone on the stone on the pressure plate doesn't do what I would think it does. In fact, it seems to do very little. Yeah, it might be, but I tried the sword as well, so I would think one of them would stick. I'm sort of wondering whether one of the pressure pads opens a secret entrance somewhere, whereas the other one controls the door. It is possible. Oh, this key we don't have here. And swinging at the door does absolutely nothing. Let's see if we left something somewhere. You can, in many games copy this, you can run into the walls and it hurts. Now this was just to control this hole here. I suppose we could fall down, but obviously at a cost. This one just controls this door. Let's use the opportunity to have a little water here. But it does appear as though we are a little bit stuck here. What could go wrong, he says. Famous last words. I thought I had been pretty thorough in checking for any hidden entrances or messages or anything that I could find. I could still have missed something. I think we're also pretty sure we checked everything up here as well. We'll check anyway again. nothing. So it does appear as if we are a little bit stuck. Unless someone has an idea and remembers something about this particular level of the game. Did I perhaps I'm sure if there is a SAP issue 67 that Heismaker has it. I'm also sure if there's an issue 69 that Hayes also has that. It's weird that we aren't finding this key here. I'm gonna change this torch now. We are pretty much out of light. I've been here many times, checked and double checked. There's nothing here. Check again just in case. This is all fairly weird. Now, our only option here, it seems, is to try go down that hole. Before doing that, we will save the game. Yeah, I already found one of the small buttons, but I can't spot one on any of the other doors. So I haven't been able to see it. It might be here. And this was a pretty instant death here. So this was not a good idea. Let's should probably at least rest before falling down. We'll load the game. Let's hope it works. Yes, it does. I'm not sure that Dennis will ever survive the fall. If he didn't now, he looks in decent condition, actually. Yeah, I did test whether you could actually load the game before going live on stream. The other would have been pretty bad. But no, Dennis does not survive the fall down here, so in addition to that, there is some sort of force field or teleport here. This is potentially a bad idea. And this is potentially a very bad idea. Let's this is the WHD load. I assume that it's fairly well fixed. This is also the latest slave. I downloaded it yesterday, so it should be fairly patched and should work well. It's however very likely that we are simply missing something. This does not I would not say this was the correct way to go down there. I think part of the problems people have with many of these old games now is that a lot of people are running them on all sorts of emulators, which are not always fully accurate. People often blame the game for something that is not the game's fault. Yeah, I can't say we're taking much advantage of the 060 at this point. Thanks for the follow, number 6. And now if anyone spots a button here somewhere, you're welcome to point it out. We will wander these halls forever if we don't find a way down there. Yeah, the one button that we did find, it was fairly obvious, or at least able to spot it fairly easily. And it's usually somewhere around this area here that I keep clicking. That's the thud sound is me basically clicking on the wall. I will eventually, if we don't find it very soon, I'll go cheat. That is the yeah, I actually did almost none of that when playing Might and Magic. I basically played through the game without using much of any hints or tips. Getting stuck like this is different. Who would know? Yeah, the internet would know. The only thing I could think of is that this key is actually up there somewhere on the other floor, which would be a really nasty thing of the game to do to us. Yes, accidentally glanced at the page while looking for something else. Yeah, I stumbled onto this by accident. Things do happen. Now I moved up to the first floor again and sort of wondering if we missed it somewhere around here. The Hall of Champions. This is where we originally came in. We are locked in here. So this is the start of the dungeon. And this is the hall which contained all the characters that we could restore. That hasn't changed. Now there are not multiple saves in the game, so if we do decide to go down there and kill off one of the characters, there's no way for us really to go back. Yeah, I had got one earlier. However, I'm not entirely sure I can use it. New lives for old bones, it says, so potentially we could go down there and waste a scroll. Otherwise, worst case, we would want to start this game just over from where we started. We haven't really completed very much of it so far. We could attempt this. Let's see here whether we can perhaps do something about our good friend Dennis. Do we have any better armor perhaps for him? This is about as good as it gets here. Don't really have anything better. And Dennis does not survive the jump down, so we need to pick up Dennis and all his stuff. Place the torch here with the priest so we can see what we're doing. And now the bad thing about the torch is that I don't know which one of them was burnt out and which one was not. Let's have to figure that out later. Amazing amount of crap for one dude. So yeah, he went from being very much alive to okay, we get teleported back up here. That's pretty much a downer, so it gets us absolutely nowhere. We just fall down the hole and then we teleport straight back up to the same location. So that's never going to be useful. Restore. Yeah, the game wanted to teach us a lesson here. I do remember how in Eye of the Beholder having to use this trick of falling down. It was basically sometimes the only way to proceed in the game. Now I think all this button does is close this door. I find this very weird. This is very early on in the game. It's very weird that we can't just proceed here. I already tried, I didn't try throwing it, but I already tried using the weapon with the door. It occurred to me that we could just bash it, but we can't. To make absolutely sure again that we haven't accidentally the whole point of these old games is that they are difficult. That's the frustrating bit, and it's also sometimes the enjoyable bit, usually a mix of the two. These games are punishing, but they're also fun because they aren't easy. You have to spend a lot of time trying to figure them out. The Beholder is easier. It isn't nearly as difficult as this game is, but at least not in the early going. It doesn't get this difficult in just the first two levels. It gets fairly annoying around the point where you are at around level 5. Yeah, it is weird that we are so stuck here. It would seem that I find it very hard to believe this is supposed to be this difficult. So it's a little bit weird. I'm wondering if we should what we can easily do here is we can quit and just restart. It will take us not all that long. All we have to do is rebuild the characters. And, we already picked the characters, so but still it's a little bit of a hassle. I'm wondering whether it's possible that the order matters here. How in which order you open the doors, but I don't think we have at any point actually had this key, so that's it's pretty funny that we would end up in this situation here. Now we need to go find the characters again if we are going to raise them up again. I find it very unlikely that this is a copy protection issue. Then this WHD load version is fairly poor, if that is the case. Although it's not impossible that it is. Now this is Navi, the priest, so bring him back. This is Boris. We'll bring him back. We named him Dennis because we didn't want a blonde guy named Boris in the party. No offense. Perhaps some offense. Yeah, Alexander. There's a lot of punny going on in the naming of most of the characters. They are. Where is the? Where is the rest of these guys here? Did not pick this guy. What did we pick? This guy. Or this guy. Or this guy. Sonia Shido. Let's see here. The other two. Oh, it already did Nabi. The wizard was not her in any case. Or was it? No. She's not it. Now it's annoying going back and forth here. I probably should have written down the name of the characters before we quit out of the save. That would have saved us some time. I will go back here. We will do that. Let's quit. Load the game again. Write down the names so that we know which characters it is. They all look fairly similar. It's difficult to figure out which one is which here. It's Layla, Stam, and Nabi. That's the names. Except we renamed Boris, Dennis. So 4 characters that we are picking are Layla, Stam, Boris, and Nabi. We can quit again. Go searching for them. Now it's weird that the game doesn't actually allow you to make your own characters from scratch. There appears to be really no way of doing so. So we had to start the stream by slowly going through all of them. This is none of them. So all here. This is Boris. I'll resurrect him, call him Dennis. nothing here. This is Nabi. We'll bring him back. That's 2. This is Sonia. This is Lila. Bring her back. And then all we are missing is Stam. Here he is. Layla is the ninja, so she should be in front along with Stam. Nabi is the priest, and Dennis is the wizard. So now we have the crew back together again. And, find our way out of this hall and into the game. That is basically this door here, and this is the apple. This was the scroll for the light. This is a pouch of water. And this was the resurrection spell that we already found. This was a piece of corn. Some more bread. Some cheese, an apple, very little of value to be found here actually. Well, now we're down here, and of course we can't see anything. Wasn't there a torch somewhere up here? I think there was a single torch here somewhere, hanging on the wall. Yeah, there was. Here it is. Okay, this was the first encounter that we had. Kill the mummy. Although it did take longer than it did before. This was the scroll that pointed us in the direction of the button, and as you can see, the button is very obvious. You can very easily see it, you would not miss it. This was the weapon that we got from Layla. And now we are pretty much as far along as we were earlier. At least not very. This key, which is the gold key, can only fit this one lock, so it's impossible that we missed that. This is a topaz key, and I think we tried it in every door. It does not fit this door, at least. And you can't open the door with force either. This key does not fit this door. And you can't open it by swinging it. No, there is no way to get in there at the moment. That leaves the area up here. You could use this button and use the other button here to close the hole. Now here is a single key. And these leather boots that we already found. There's nothing else here to be seen. Now this key does not fit this door, and neither does this one. The other key did fit this door. At least one of them did. Really? Doesn't fit this door either. How can that be? This is a topaz key. Doesn't fit this door in any case. Neither does the gold key. It was this door, right? This key fit this door, and then there's another door here. And where this key fit. And this is where you found yet another key. Some more knives. And this little elven thing that we use to armor up. And this arrow. You think it's two-factor authentication for the doors? Well, this is the emerald key. It does not fit this lock. So that's a certain. That leaves this door here, which this emerald key does fit in. And there was all sorts of stuff here, including this iron key. And these pretty flashy trousers. And on this side there was another sword, which we don't really need. And another pair of boots, which we used to replace the suede shoes. And we got this torch as well here. And there is nothing else here. And you can only use this iron key to go through this door here. There is no other way of using it. And we can kill this beast here pretty easily. Get this little slice of lemon here. Reclaim our knife. And we are exactly where we were before. And if you think we missed something, point it out. I think you can agree that there is no other way of playing it than we just did. And we have no keys left. Perhaps we can worth a shot. Using the dagger with the door usually doesn't work. This is all very weird, I must say. There must be a key here somewhere that we are not seeing. Just must be. So there is a rock here, for example, on the floor. It is sometimes pretty hard to make out these small objects on the floor. Maybe the key is somewhere right in front of us and we didn't see it on the floor. It's also somewhat dark here. So it's not easy to see these objects. We found one key in this room already, but there must be another key here somewhere. I very much doubt this is supposed to be this difficult. There it is. It's here. Can you see it? It's here on the floor. I didn't see it. I had to basically click the pixel to see it. I think you mistyped that, Mr. Hayes. Yeah. I remember this about the game, that it does this trick with the keys. This key fits at least, so we will... now I will save the game. We've made some progress at least. Of course, it does not help that the torches run out and your magic runs out, so it was hidden in plain sight. Ouch, we got hit by this plant-like thing here. Unnecessary damage that we took. Come on, plant thing, follow me. Good night, Hayes. Sleep well. Now, this plant-like enemy is not exactly the fastest in the history of mankind. Yeah, basically slow enough that I could probably have killed him without losing any hit points, but make do with it. We haven't gotten any damage other than this so far. Thanks again for the raid, Hayes, if you're still there. I forgot to thank you again, dude. Let's have some water here. Lovely use of the 4-channel sound on the Amiga. I wonder if you can use these water pouches and refill them here. No, you can't. Not seemingly, at least. Lots of water here. We have a key and we have a door. Now there is a slightly more sophisticated set of these pressure plates here. We have one of the rocks. Does not appear that the rock is heavy enough really to do anything. It's weird that the torch isn't either. Okay, so this button opens and closes the front door. These this is the correct pattern here. The first logical puzzle in the game, not a particularly difficult one. Not like Might and Magic, where I actually had to basically invent a cryptographic code to complete the game. With very little in the way of hints. Now we have some of our friends here, quite a few of them this time around. Find a club here. It's best to fight from the distance if you can at all. See if we have something else we can throw at them. Yeah, we have this sword. And we managed to kill all of them. Let's pick up all of these pieces. Now it appears that killing these gives you this nice little slices of beast. So that's fresh food, which I suppose is pretty nice if you're stuck in a dungeon. Try to put all of these range-like things here so we can easily grab them and use them. It's getting pretty dark. We probably should think about switching candles or switching these torches at some point. At least we found a key, and that makes us happy. I think there is another of these lovely creatures here. Two of them actually. 1 down. 2 down. We should perhaps eat some of this.
No.
Seems like a
No.
good plan to get rid of some of this stuff in the inventory here.
No.
Have each character
No.
eat 1 piece here. Make some more room. We aren't stuck for food now, at least. Not for the first few levels. Here's a door. Thanks for the follow, Moonwalker. There's a pressure plate here. And as soon as we step off it. Okay, here we find finally a boulder. So that's potentially what we need to hold the door open. Where did the mummy go? I want my mummy, said the man. Here he is. I kind of wanted him to follow me. Come here. Yes, there you are. The mummy doesn't seem to have a lot of hit points. I'm fairly sure he can do some damage, however. We'll leave the boulder there. Now, we've been here before. I'm fairly sure this is where we came down the hole and transported back up earlier. This is the first teleport in the game. Do we have another key? No, we don't. Potentially we should try this teleport then. Okay, this is not that particular place. This is just to go fetch the key. And then I teleport back. Night, Eldridge. Thanks for coming. Have a good rest. Oh, this is a pressure plate here. Okay, which opens and closes this this hole here. Wonder if we can go back and fetch the boulder. Because we need something to hold it. Potentially we can use something else. We can actually use the rock on this one, although it didn't work on the earlier ones. And this torch is basically out at this point. Can't even see where I'm going. So we're gonna have to replace it. Put it here at the end. I'll get a fresh one. So drink up. We're here anyway. There's a writing on the wall there that appears when you put something on the pressure pad. That was pretty funny. The wall says nothing. This wall says nothing. Just the game's way of trolling with you and making you figure it out. It's awfully nice of the game. Oh, there's a door that we don't have a key for at this time. And another one. Although there is definitely a key here, it's more visible than many have been. There isn't another one, so I wonder which order to do this in. Let's fit this door in any case. Down they go. And we get some more food, which we'll consume here. And another iron key for the other door down the corridor. No secrets here, or at least not obviously. So rock here, pick that up. Useful for pressing down the plates. Nothing here. Here's the other door. Let's iron key in. For a place that is supposedly a dungeon, there is a lot of fresh water in here. I can hear something. It's the mummy. I don't think he died. I think he just moved. Yes, he did. Now he died. I can hear more of them. They are here somewhere. Not here though. Probably not good to get locked into a closed corridor and have the monster attack you. It's better to do this at range if you can. There are some of these vegetative guys here. we take them down with a mix of weapons and rocks. Let's eat something here. At least we are well stocked on food. Lots of things here. This is a scroll, what does it say? Casting Vibro into a flask creates a serum for curing poison. That is certainly useful information. It's our second spell in the game. We learned the light spell earlier, and now we know how to make a cure poison spell. We also found some empty flasks for casting the spell into them, and another scroll, casting Y into a flask creates a serum that heals wounds. So now we have a cure wound spell. And some leather pants, good looking leather pants. Let's place them on the priest. I assume they're better than his very basic robes, although I have not found a way of actually seeing that yet. Can't find any sort of armor statistics. 56, 58. Can't see this changing at all if I remove all of his clothes, and looking at them just tells me how heavy they are. So there is that. This is obviously a button. Assume this is a combination of this pressure plate and the button. Let's see. Okay. This is probably it's possible that we will find some other way of triggering this door here. So go down this corridor. This is a switch which does what? So another one over here. Okay, opening, pushing both of them, open the door. Oh, here is a teleport, and there is something written on the wall over there, which we will probably never see. And, just exhaust other ways of getting around here before we use this teleport, which we have no idea where it takes us. Now we have no key, and there's a keyhole here. So let's assume that we need to go use this teleport. To close pit, leave a valuable on the floor. That will have to be something of value. I assume that we can't just use anything. Found a throwing star. That is good for the ninja. We'll place that in her hand. And give Dennis this sword for safekeeping. We might be able to use it later. Here is a key. Should probably drink at this point. Dennis is getting tired. He's been at the front of the party for a while and he's pretty heavily burdened. We get our item back here that we gave up. So we didn't lose it, just got teleported. I'm fairly sure they were empty when we found it, but priests have been known to dabble in a drink or two. Now plenty of mummies here now, 3 of them. It's the most we've seen. We'll use the throwing star. And then we'll find the sword again. We can use that as well. Oh, where did they go? They're there. Come on. Advance, you sissies. This is pretty much the first real fight that we have in the game. Now the flasks are for casting potions, or they're for the priest. We already found a spell to create cure poison and a spell to heal wounds, so the flasks are basically there to use these spells. Now we sustained a little damage here, but we're still doing okay. Where are the rest of our knives? They're probably deeper inside here. Yes, they are. Here is the club. Here are the rest of our knives. Now we're back here. Went the wrong way. Return to this corridor. It's not the plan. Sort of have to be a little bit patient with the game. It doesn't accept commands very quickly, so if you press too fast, they will it will have issues and will... Here's a copper coin. Have issues and it will accidentally run into a wall, which will hurt the characters. Here is another torch. That's pretty welcome. The one we are using is pretty close to running out. This one is already burnt out. This is still fresh. We'll move some of this food here. Not have poor Dennis carry all of it. He's running out of energy carrying all this stuff. Now there are some friends there. Yeah. The moving food is here. Down they go. All four of them.
No.
Might as well just eat this.
No. 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 No.
Potentially we need to rest at some point. We are taking a little bit of damage, although it really isn't all that much. There's a treasure chest there behind that force field or teleport. None shall pass, says the sign on the door. So it's probably the entrance to the Kobe Bryant Basketball Academy. Oh, this is really much starting to look like a dungeon crawler. It's dark. I can't see where I'm going. I have no idea where I am. This is all very familiar. So our two options here are basically this teleport here or this corridor over here, which is leads into this hall. Now this torch is almost out. We have two others, so it's fine still. This fountain accepts one wish, says the door. So I have a copper coin, let's make a wish. coin works. There's a door here.
No.
But no obvious way of opening it. Assume there's a button or of some sort somewhere here. Some more of our friends here. He's unusually strong, must be said. The wrong side. This guy is taking a lot of damage. He's much more difficult than the previous ones have been. Finally he dies. Get the weapons back here. Actually, this is a new breed of these. They took considerably more to take down. We find another throwing star. That's useful. With a ninja. Now we have 2 of these swords that we can also use to throw at the enemy. And another pouch of water here. Potentially useful if we find ourselves without food or water for a while. Another throwing star. Let's put it here. We can access it.
No, no, no. No, no. No, no, no. No, 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 no.
I have a little water here. Now we have to replace this torch. It's completely gone. So use this one. I assume this button here opened up the door on the other side, but there are also some more nasties over here. Get into my line of sight, please. Can start attacking you. It's very good. Down they go. Can hear mummies somewhere here. Another flask. Another torch. There's a door here. Now, one of the tricks in the game is that you can close the door on the monster, which does a little bit of damage. Not a lot, but a little bit. It's potentially useful. It's on the wrong side for the throwing star. Down he goes. That appears to be a shield, which is most welcome. So we'll place that with the fighter up front and move this club here. Let's place Layla in front here for a bit. Let's take all of these things that are throwing and move it to her. Sort of running out of space here. I think being in front reduces the stamina of the character, so I think it's wise to... It seems that the stamina is taken up by being the character that is in orange, or that is in front of the party. So it's the master character, it pushes down their stamina. So it's a wise idea to spread that. These follow bots never seem to get enough.
No.
We have some more friends. Now, it could be my imagination, but it does appear as though they are moving quite a bit faster now than they did in the early goings in the game. Does eventually go down. Quite a few of them here. 4 of them together to pick up our throwing stars. There's at least 1 item here left, yes. Here's the dagger that we threw. Here's a treasure chest. We'll have Layla try to open it. And she can. And there's a lot of stuff inside. Let's how is our food situation here? I think we will
No.
try to consume some of this stuff here.
No.
Free up some space.
No.
Sort of running out of storage
No.
space. Now she found a lot of food, so let's spread that. I believe the food will become more scarce later on in the game, so hoarding food right now seems like a pretty good idea. Though we can't obviously store more food than we can fit in the backpacks. Found another empty flask. We're now carrying some 5 empty flasks. They are useful for spell making, so we also found a scroll. What does that say? Desven will conjure a poison spell. Okay, this is the first combat spell that we find in the game. We'll take a look at that. And here is a magical box. Let's see what that does. It's just doesn't serve a purpose, but what does the magical box do? How can we use it? We can put it here and do what with it? Freeze life. Okay, so it's actually a magical box. It's casts a particular spell. That is interesting. So that's potentially a valuable item. We should store that somewhere. We have some places to store stuff. Could really do with a backpack of some sort. We can potentially use the chest to store some of this food in it. Just keep the chest with us. That seems like a good idea. Fill the chest with these monster bits here. No, there we go. Oops.
No.
Oh, here's another torch. And here is the stairway to the 3rd floor. I want to go back and make absolutely sure that we finished everything here before we venture downstairs. It's probably not wise. was this one door here that we hadn't accessed yet. It's open now in any case. What's this button do? At least pressed it. None shall pass at the door. Find that switch again. This door is still closed here. I seem to remember there being a second switch here somewhere. That was definitely this one. There is potentially another one somewhere. Here is the other one. Find another one of these magical boxes. Let's see what's in this one. Should probably have Stam carry all this food. What's in this box? Freeze life. Same as the other one. So we have two of these. Now, this is obviously a hidden room here. Let's see what this is open. I haven't solved this issue here with the going the wrong way now, I think. Should have gone back, right? Yeah, this is the fountain. This is the way back. Okay, we ran all the way over here. Yeah, Layla cannot do much more of this running. She's very tired at this stage. Probably have to give up and rest at some point. Head back to where the teleport was. Still haven't solved that. Probably should. We should rest now. She's basically very tired at this point. This is enough for now. This is the fountain. Yeah, this is where we were. Yeah. Sign on the door says none shall pass. I hate to leave it like this, but I'm going to save the game here. It's getting pretty late. It's 1:30 a.m. here. I'm going to resist trying to solve this puzzle now. We will continue next time around. Thanks for hanging out, guys. It's been wonderful having you here, and let's see who's on at the moment. We could potentially go raid. Duke is still on. He's no, he's not. He was on. Let's see. Tonda is on. What is he playing? Tonda is playing Bard's Tale. That's a pretty fun RPG. He's a fun retro streamer. Streams a variety of all sorts of systems, including the Amiga. He's also a pretty chill and nice guy. So we'll head over to Tonda's channel. Thanks for hanging out, guys. Have a wonderful rest of the night, and have a good night's sleep if you're going to bed. I'll probably potentially see you on the other side. I'm gonna finish up the game and close the upload videos and do other stuff, so I'll hang around in his channel for a bit. If not, I'll see you here potentially Friday. We are doing Monkey Island EGA with Roland MT32 emulated sound on Monday, if you want to come see me do that. Otherwise, it's Amiga time next Monday or next Wednesday, continuing our Dungeon Master quest. But I'll start the raid and set up the extra. Thanks again, guys. See you guys later.